When you train a large language model, the single biggest memory cost is often not the model, it is the loss. Computing cross-entropy over a huge vocabulary can eat most of your GPU memory. Cut cross-entropy, or CCE, from Apple shrinks that cost to almost nothing. In this video, why the loss is so heavy, what CCE is, how it computes the loss without storing the logits, how it compares, the numbers, the code, and when to reach for it. Here is the pain. To get the loss, a model multiplies its hidden states by a giant output matrix to produce logits, one score per vocabulary token, for every position in the batch. With a vocabulary of 256,000 tokens, that logit matrix can be an order of magnitude larger than the rest of the model combined. In practice, cross-entropy can account for up to 90% of your training memory footprint. That is an enormous amount to spend on computing a single number. Cut cross-entropy is a drop-in replacement for the standard cross-entropy loss. The key insight is this: the loss for each token depends on just two things: the logit of the correct token, and the log-sum-exp over all the logits. You do not actually need to keep the full logit matrix around. CCE computes only the correct token score directly, and evaluates the log-sum-exp on the fly, so that enormous logit matrix is never written to memory at all. Let's walk the computation. First, take the model's hidden states for each position. Second, do an indexed multiply to get just the logit of the correct token, one number, not the whole row. Third, stream through the vocabulary computing the log-sum-exp of all logits in small tiles, keeping only a running total. Finally, subtract to get the loss and its gradient. At no point does the full logit matrix ever exist in global memory. The magic is in a custom flash-style kernel. Instead of writing logits out to slow global memory, CCE loads small tiles of the weight matrix and the hidden states into fast-on-chip SRAM, does the matrix multiply and the log-sum-exp reduction right there, then discards the tile. It also exploits softmax sparsity. Most gradients are practically zero, so it simply skips those computations. The result is negligible memory traffic at full speed. Compare it to the standard approach. Ordinary cross-entropy materializes the entire logit matrix in global memory, then a softmax, then the lost three huge tensors sitting around. CCE keeps none of them resident. It fuses the matrix multiply and the reduction inside SRAM and streams the result. Same math, same gradients, same convergence, but the memory the loss consumes drops from many gigabytes down to megabytes. CCE is not the only memory trick. Torch.compile on its own cuts memory by around 40%. Chunking and ligers fused to linear cross-entropy go further by splitting the vocabulary into pieces, but often at the cost of extra latency. In a 256,000 vocabulary benchmark, CCE used about 1100 megabytes in 135 milliseconds, beating liger on both memory and speed at once. Now the headline numbers. For Google's Gemma 2 billion parameter model, CCE shrank the memory used by the loss from 24 gigabytes down to just 1 megabyte. The classifier head's total training memory fell from 28 gigabytes to about 1 gigabyte. And this comes with no loss in training speed and no change in the final model. It is that rare thing in machine learning, a genuine free lunch. What do you do with all that freed memory? You spend it on bigger batches. CCE let researchers raise the batch size by 1.5 times on Llama 2 13 billion, and by up to 10 times on GPT-2 and Gemma 2. Bigger batches mean better GPU utilization and higher training throughput. So the same hardware trains more tokens per second. The memory saving converts directly into speed and lower cost. Where does CCE matter most? Any model with a large vocabulary. Modern models push past 250,000 tokens. Long context training, where the number of positions is huge. And small models, where the loss can dwarf the rest of a network. It is especially handy for fine-tuning on a single GPU. The memory you save lets you fit a bigger batch or a longer sequence without buying more hardware. Unsloth has already built it in. In code it is almost trivial. Install the cut cross-entropy package, then call linear cross-entropy on your embeddings. The classifier waits, and the labels it returns the loss directly, with no giant logit tensor. Or patch an existing Hugging Face model with a single CCD patch call, which supports the Llama, Mistral, Phi 3, and Gemma 2 families. There is even a torch.compile fallback for platforms without Triton, like macOS. So, when should you reach for it? Anytime training is memory-bound large vocabularies, long context, or small models where the loss dominates. Because it is close to free, it makes a safe default. When might you pause? If your vocabulary is tiny, there is little to save. If you need a custom transform inside the loss, note that CC splits forward and backward, which actually helps. And your framework needs a patch for your model family. Quick recap. In large vocabulary models, the cross-entropy loss can consume up to 90% of training memory. Cut cross-entropy computes that same loss, without ever storing the full logit matrix. It takes the correct token logit and streams a log-sum-exp over the vocabulary. It does this inside a flash-style kernel that lives in on-chip SRAM, and it skips near zero gradients. The payoff: gigabytes down to megabytes, bigger batches, and no hit to speed or accuracy. That is cut cross-entropy, a small, exact change to how the loss is computed that hands back most of your training memory. Keep the logits out of memory, keep the math identical, and spend the savings on bigger batches. Did this make cut cross-entropy click? Follow for plain English Gen AI breakdowns and save this for the next time your training run runs out of memory.